Alright, so Palantir stock soared after earnings and totally smashed expectations. Now what? You're probably wondering, do I buy? Do I not? Where do I buy? Where do I not? So in this video, I'm going to be answering all of those questions and be breaking down Palantir's full technical analysis, price prediction, and my personal strategy of where I plan to buy, where I plan to enter, and exactly how I plan to profit. So make sure you stick around till the end of the video, and all I ask in return is that you subscribe so that this video can be pushed out to more Palantir holders or people planning to buy Palantir that don't know how to. And if you want to learn technical analysis for yourself, go get my new book, A Technical Trader's Handbook, on Amazon that covers a bunch of advanced trading strategies. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Alright, before we jump into the technicals, let's quickly talk about Palantir's fundamentals. Now I'm going to make a much more in-depth video about this in the coming days, but let's briefly go over what's been going on. So as we know, Palantir reported earnings recently and they smashed it. Now a lot of people have been talking about this, but a couple things that I caught into that were really impressive, first of all, include revenue growth. 49% year over year. Now that is simply, it's astounding and smashed analyst expectations. But not only that, Palantir also told us that they expect year-over-year growth annually at 30% till 2025. Now, a lot of analyst estimates expect, they're going to slow. 30%, 20%, 10%. They're going to slow as the years go by. And that's usually how you value companies, even through free cash flow models, that you anticipate that they end up, slowing down. But Palantir clearly told us in their investor presentation that they expect 30% growth through 2025. And this is actually pretty conservative. As we know, Alex Karp, he's one that doesn't really care about Wall Street, and Palantir themselves are known to underplay what they're going to actually deliver on. So what I actually think Palantir is doing here is they're under-promising but planning to over-deliver. They're talking about 30% growth annually through till 2025, but this could be their very conservative mark so that they can beat this, impress, and as we saw, the stock ends up running a lot higher than expected because people weren't anticipating such results. The fundamentals are intact and growth is still rapidly accelerating. They're not slowing down, they're not letting their foot off the pedal, and they're hiring new salespeople to continue to expand, and that's what you want to see. And so now that we understand this, let's jump into the technicals so that we can better predict what's going to happen and where you should be looking to buy at this point. Alright, so taking a look at the technicals, we can see prior to earnings, Palantir stock was forming this massive ascending triangle. We broke out and boom, we exploded big time to the upside. Now right now, as we can see on this hourly chart, we're beginning to yet again form somewhat of a symmetrical triangle, right? Yesterday and a couple days ago, we started getting tighter and tighter in this range, and it looks like we're about to either break out to the upside or downside because again, triangles can go either way. The only way you trade them is by waiting for confirmation to actually see which side it breaks out to and then buying or shorting into that. Now, if I'm being honest, I could actually see Palantir breaking out to the upside. The reason being is that we can see the momentum indicators have kind of retraced lower, but not only that, we can see there's now volume, momentum, and interest in Palantir stock. During this entire time that we've been in this downtrend, right? Downtrend, we've just been accumulating buyers, waiting. And now that it's happened, you can bet a lot of people are looking to pounce on this moment just like you and are hoping that this momentum continues. Now, another big thing if you go to the 4-hour chart is that we're finally turning the 9 EMA, which is this blue line, into support. The reason this is so important is because the 9 EMA shows who's controlling the trend direction. Like when we're forming lower lows and lower highs, we'd push up right to the 9 EMA, which is the blue line, find resistance and drop back lower. But the fact of the matter is that now that we're beginning to hold it and turn it to support, shows that buyers are willing to pay a premium compared to Palantir's short-term average price. Like even after this large overextension, we pulled back, boom, turned the 9 EMA into support, continued higher. So by validating it as support, it makes me more bullish on the stock, showing because it tells me that there's buyer demand to actually commit to that higher price level. So now that you get a rough understanding of the technicals, let's talk about my price target and how exactly to trade this. As you can see on Friday, the stock formed a large long-legged doji on the daily chart. Now essentially a long-legged doji suggests that both buyers and sellers were equally strong, right? It has a long top wicks and a long bottom wick, right? Essentially it shows consolidation consolidation and the inability to cause any major move higher or any major move lower. Now, what this signals or usually forecasts is the fact that consolidation is beginning to take place or a reversal, because both buyers and sellers are equally strong, that they've reached a point where it's in a way peaked or either bottomed. And now what this is telling me is that Palantir will probably either consolidate at this level or we will get a pullback lower before a continuation higher. So like I said, we could totally consolidate in this level, but where would I buy and when would I buy? Well, I would only be looking to buy Palantir stock if we broke above this resistance level right here at about $25. The reason being is that this is our previous lower high, right? Right now we're forming lower highs, but once we break above this level, we'll officially form a higher high, indicating that buyers have seized control. And this is stuff I all cover in my new book, A Technical Trader's Handbook on Amazon, so be sure to go get that if you haven't already. So once we break above this level, form a higher high, I'd be looking to buy into that, and I could see Palantir stock probably head up to the swing high at about 25.75, where you could take shorter term profit. But if we can then manage to break above that level, then without a doubt I could see Palantir stock probably heading up here to about 26.24, or even all the way up here at 27, where we had support over here, previous level of resistance in this area. So those are the key levels to watch. About $27 to $26 is very attainable if we can get that break above our swing high. On the other hand, if Palantir stock broke below this level here at about 24.5, then I could see sellers take control, because then we'd be forming a lower high. Right now we're forming higher lows, but if we form a lower low, then that officially indicates that sellers have taken control, because they can force a new low. Now, a lot of people will probably look at this and say, well, how do you know which one's going to happen? You can't just give both scenarios. Yes, I can. That's the point of technical analysis, so that you know how to trade technicals and of a stock whichever way it goes. That's the beauty of it, and that's how you can profit both ways. All it is remaining patient and seeing, does Palantir break out to the upside or does it break out to the downside? If it breaks out to the upside, follows the strategies and the rules and meets all the conditions, you buy into that. Otherwise, you could take a put, short, or whatever, right? So that's all it is, and that's how you can always in a way be right. Now, if Palantir stock ends up dropping, then I could see it probably finding support around here at about 24.3, where it had support over here. If it breaks that, well, I honestly don't think Palantir stock has a chance of pulling back all the way down here to about 23.25 in the short term. I think the fundamentals are looking good, the momentum is in its favor, so I think realistically it probably continues higher, or if it breaks lower, it gets a temporary bounce down till here to the swing low of this triangle, and then we bounce back higher. So that's the video. Those are my strategies, and if you appreciated this in-depth technical breakdown, be sure to like and subscribe and get my new book, A Technical Trader's Handbook, if you want to learn a ton of advanced trading strategies that have helped me help you guys make 100% returns on so many different stocks simply using technical analysis. So that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.